The universe has many mysteries and we still don't know all its secrets. We continue to learn new things about space and our solar system. Today, we're going to look at some mysterious space facts that will shock anyone. From the strange sounds of space to black holes and planets, we hope you enjoy these mysterious space facts. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. Our planet has plenty of beaches, but it turns out that the number of stars in the universe is infinite. According to NASA, there are roughly 100 billion trillion stars in the observable universe. The number of stars is just so large that our brains can't even comprehend it. There are billions of galaxies and each galaxy contains billions of stars. Scientists say that only 5% of the universe is made up of matter, meaning the rest is dark energy and dark matter. We haven't been able to see this stuff or figure out what it's made of, but it does seem to be everywhere. Do you hear music when you're alone? Well, if you're ever in space, you might hear a symphony. In 2003, NASA launched the Aura spacecraft to measure chemicals in Earth's atmosphere. While the spacecraft was in orbit, it picked up some strange sounds. These sounds were actually made by the solar panels of the spacecraft. When they expand and contract due to the heat of the sun, they make a very interesting sound. If you're ever in space, you might want to bring your boombox and blast some tunes, because it is surprisingly hard to find a good beat on Earth. There are planets that could destroy our planet. There are many different planets in our solar system, but we're pretty lucky that we don't live on any of the gas giants. Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus are much larger than our small rocky planet. They're also made of mostly gas, meaning that humans couldn't live on them. But not only are these planets huge, they're also very dense. If they were to pass close to the sun, their gravity would pull the sun off its path. Then the whole solar system would go into chaos. So next time you're feeling down, remember that you're pretty lucky to be living on a small rocky planet instead of a giant gas planet. In outer space, there's no such thing as a vacuum cleaner. Debris and space are constantly floating through the vastness of space. This includes things like dead satellites and pieces of trash. All this debris is dangerous to astronauts and spacecraft. So who's responsible for cleaning it up? One company called ClearSpace wants to change everything with their new plan to clean up space junk. Their idea is simple. They will send out robots that will search for space junk, and then they will use lasers to move the debris out of the way. We can't wait to see how this works out, and we hope that other companies follow suit. Black holes are one of the most mysterious objects in space. These massive objects are so dense that nothing can escape their gravitational pull, not even light. Black holes are formed when stars collapse in on themselves. All the matter in a star is held together by gravity. When a star runs out of fuel, its gravity can no longer hold it together, and it collapses. The matter in the star is squeezed together in a very small space, creating an extremely dense object. Black holes are incredibly dangerous, but they can also be incredibly beautiful. Many astronomers agree that one of the most amazing sights in the universe is a black hole at the center of a galaxy. You can have 2 sunsets every day. It may sound crazy, but on certain planets you could actually see the sun rise and set twice in one day. For example, on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. And on Mars, the sun appears to rise in the north and set in the south. The reason why this happens is because these planets are tilted on their axes. As a result, the horizon appears to curve, making it look like the sun is rising and setting in different directions. So if you ever get the chance to visit another planet, be sure to check out the unique sunrise and sunset. Your body would explode on a neutron star. Neutron stars are one of the most extreme objects in the universe. These stars are so dense that a single teaspoon of matter on a neutron star weighs billions of pounds. If you were to step foot on a neutron star, you would be utterly crushed into a pancake. But that's not even the worst part. The surface of a neutron star is incredibly hot, reaching temperatures of millions of degrees. You would be burned to a crisp in a matter of seconds. So if you're anywhere near a neutron star, run away fast. Some galaxies move faster than others. Our galaxy is moving through space at a speed of about 220 kilometers per second. But some galaxies are much faster. For example, the galaxy NGC 4038 is moving at a speed of over 1,000 kilometers per second. This galaxy is so fast that it's actually leaving the Virgo cluster. The reason why some galaxies are moving faster than others is because they're being pulled by dark matter. Dark matter is an invisible substance that makes up a lot of the mass in the universe. It doesn't interact with regular matter, so we can't see it directly, but we can see its effects on galaxies. Galaxies that are close to a lot of dark matter are moving faster because they're being pulled by its gravity. Can you imagine having 6 legs? Well, on the planet Jupiter. It's a reality. Jupiter's moon Europa has a very unique feature. It has 6 legs that stick out from its body. These legs are actually giant ice mountains. They're made of water ice that's been compressed by the pressure of Jupiter's gravity. The tallest of these ice mountains reaches a height of 9 kilometers. Now, that's tall. But that's not even the most interesting thing about Europa. The moon is also covered in a layer of ice that's just a few kilometers thick. Underneath this ice layer, there's a liquid ocean. This ocean is full of water and ammonia, and it is thought to be one of the most potentially habitable places in the solar system. Is space really empty? Most people think that space is completely empty, but that's not true. There are all sorts of things floating around up there, including asteroids, comets, and even black holes. Of course, these things are very far apart, but they're still there. In fact, space is actually really crowded. There are billions of objects floating around out there. So if you're ever out in space without a spacesuit, be careful. You don't want to get hit by an asteroid or sucked into a black hole. If you had a tail, you wouldn't be able to walk. Well, if you were on the planet Saturn, this wouldn't be a problem. Saturn's gravity is so weak that you could easily float around the planet. You would need a tail to keep yourself grounded. Literally. Saturn is the least dense planet in the solar system. It's so light that it could float away if it wasn't for its strong gravity. Could you survive on Mars? If you were stranded on Mars, you probably wouldn't survive for long. The planet's gravity is much weaker than Earth's, so you could easily float away. Plus, the atmosphere is full of carbon dioxide, which is poisonous to humans. You would need a spacesuit to survive on Mars. Mars is a very cold planet, so you would need a spacesuit with a heater. Otherwise, you would freeze to death in no time. Do you want to see a shooting star? If you travel to the planet Jupiter, you might be able to witness this phenomenon. Jupiter has a strong magnetic field that traps charged particles from the sun. These particles form a giant donut-shaped cloud around the planet. Sometimes these particles escape the cloud and streak across Jupiter's surface. This creates a beautiful light show that is truly amazing to behold. Can you survive on a planet made of diamonds? Well, if you were on the planet 55 Cancri E, you would be able to survive for a while. This planet is mostly made up of diamonds, which are very hard minerals. You would need a spacesuit to breathe, but you could walk around on the surface without being injured. The only problem is that 55 Cancri E is very hot. The planet's surface is about 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit, so you would only have a few minutes before you were cooked to death. What do you think of these mysterious space facts? Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Subscribe for more crazy and horrifying space facts.